Joining me now to discuss the invasion on our southern border, co-chairman of the Border Security Caucus and representative for Arizona's 5th Congressional District, Congressman Andy Biggs. Thank you so much for being with us today. It's great to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So what's your reaction to this, given the fact that it's so well documented that traffickers are exploiting this issue? Why is it the federal government isn't doing more to end this? I mean, it makes you wonder why this full-blown invasion is just being ignored.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily even being ignored. I think it's being stoked. I think that this administration is very comfortable with what's happening on the border. In fact, they're telling everybody the border's fixed and they've really done a great job. But the bottom line is everything from the new app that they have for people to pre-register to come in illegally, to human trafficking, sex trafficking, and the dangers that you're seeing and talking about right now. It all points to one thing, that it's not fixed. It's very dangerous, but this administration is perfectly comfortable with that, which tells you that this is designed. If you're comfortable with this kind of flow coming through, this invasion coming through, then that tells me that's what you want, and this is by design.
Yeah, it sure does seem that way, sadly. How do you think things are going to pan out with Alejandro Mayorkas? Do you think there's going to be any repercussions for his complete inaction at the border here?
Yeah, I think so. I actually have talked to a number of people over the last several weeks who actually were kind of opposed originally to impeaching Mayorkas, but most of them have now softened their stance, and they believe that Mayorkas needs to be held accountable. And I think that you'll see some action continue to move in that way. I'm not sure we're ready to quite do it yet, but we recently had a hearing on the crimes on the border, and we laid the foundation for what Mayorkas has done that we think, at least certainly I do, are impeachable offenses. So I think some of my other colleagues are now starting to get on the bandwagon.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because something has to be done, and we've got to put an end to this somehow. So I sure hope more people wise up to that and that we can make that happen. While we're talking about corruption, the mainstream media is so focused on Trump when we all know the real criminal is Biden. I know you and the true patriots in Congress are trying to bring attention to this, but information is being suppressed and written off. Congressman, can you share with us some of the newest information implicating Biden, and why do you think it's hard to bring mainstream attention to this?
Well, the new information is out of the FD 1023 and everything that starts flowing from there. And that information tells us that you've got a Russian oligarch. He felt coerced to pay the Biden crime family money, he ended up paying $5 million to Hunter and $5 million to Joe, but he didn't ever pay it directly to Joe because they knew that would be criminal for Joe as well as for him. These statements against this guy's own interest are backed up by the fact that he says he's got audio recordings of him talking with Joe and talking with Hunter. Multiple recordings, 17 in all. He also has additional written documents, which is what I'm describing as email or text messages, indicating the particulars of this arrangement. And this money was being funneled through, as he said, to make it difficult to link him and Joe Biden. But he said, for instance, he had to keep Hunter Biden on. So all of this stuff is coming out in a very real fashion. This guy's the person who reported on this is credible. FBI has said he is credible. So what should be happening is it's potentially the largest scandal in American history for a lot of reasons, not the least of which you have a vice president selling access while in the office itself of vice president. And number two, you have the FBI and DOJ suppressing that information and protecting the Biden crime family. So all of that stuff makes it, in my opinion, perhaps the biggest political scandal in the United States history, but the media will not carry it because he's their guy.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.